who showed up for the 10 a.m. meeting. I did not make it. I apologize.
Happens.
Where's the TRE guys?
They're en route.
Oh, fuck yeah. What was that for?
They just rolled up. I think.
Alright, close having Discord
new,
problem.
Lord in our midst, Lord Iquai. Welcome, Lord Iquai.
His Discord's messed up.
Wait.
He says he can't hear anything.
We also have a new head diplomat, Sir Supa.
Hi, everyone. I'm really excited about that.
Is Super here?
Yes, he is. There is also another issue. Most of you are probably aware of Fuzzy Mitt's ban.
Can we get into their seats, please? And stay on it?
I will be moving to Zexenia and taking over his lordship while he is gone.
So who's in charge of Tombstone for the time being?
Lord Lannex was recently promoted.
Wait, I asked him if he wanted it.
He came to me and talked to me about it just a little while ago.
Oh, okay, good.
I'll start quitting the next person now who doesn't take a seat right fucking now.
Can you sit down? What?
You can take a seat, homie. The one with no flag on.
Where are the seats? Is this a seat?
In the laws channel, there has been some documents posted. In particular, a list of punishments for crimes. Now, that's not saying that every time you steal your friend's horse, you will face that punishment, but if your friend is truly offended and decides to bring it to their local law, you can face that amount of punishment. And when it says days in the mines, what that take before you can leave the mining area? Below that is a picture of the new tax system. Based on your population, that will be how many dues that you will have to pay per week. And when I say population, I mean active.
On a point of the stamp system, so at the max, it looks like it currently costs about 20% of a given population stamp, presuming that throughout the entire week that everybody's logging in and voting every single day. I would like to push back on that and see if we can prorate that down more to around 10 to 15%. Because otherwise I feel like it's a little bit steep, given the fact that a lot of us also like to pursue our own projects.
Fair enough. However, I would like to insist that taxes are a benchmark of civilization. The more income we're pulling in together, the greater projects we'll be able to do together.
And
Well, a lot of lords pursue their own individual projects, though, as well.
And the more lords and citizens there are, the lower the taxes will probably be.
If you notice,
there's also really odd jumps, I feel like, in the tax system. As I'm looking through it right now, for example, the jump from the population of 5 to 6 is 1 of 10 stam, and it's not a consistent jump in each population.
For one, it's 7, 6, 6, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7 per stam effectively trying to encourage people to keep their populations between 4 and 7.
Why are we doing that?
So we can have more people distributed around our kingdom, more evenly justifying our claim.
I mean, at the same time, though, if lords want to bring in larger populations and more people, which thus benefits the entirety of Savagard, I feel like it's odd to punish that.
We could go by percentages, like Gray was saying, like 15% taxes for the population,
and then have an even distribution where it goes up by basically the amount that person would pay per week. So let's say a person makes 4.5 stam in a day. They make 31.5 in a week. You do 10% of that, and then just for each population that goes up, you add that amount to the amount of stam that the lord owes per week.
I mean, realistically, since Invader wants to at max have 16 lords, and if each of those lords, let's say, have the max amount of citizens to where it gets ludicrous to pay taxes, it seems pretty fair, and it's pretty even distribution. And then if all the lords have all 7 citizens or whatever, Invader might lower the taxes to allow for, I guess, more expansion.
I feel like the basis of the tax system, though, should be A, to begin with, lower, and B, shouldn't be set up in such a way to punish people for having certain populations, some of which might be outside of their hands regardless of their ability to manage.
That is fair.
I have a proposal.
Speak.
Maybe this could go on a case-by-case basis, so if someone wants to have a very populous town, they could talk to Invader first, but in all other cases, the current tax system would still stand.
Well, then it would become a system of exceptions, though, and everybody would be seeking them. It would basically fall apart under its own weight.
I doubt everyone would want a lot of citizens. Also, a big town would require Invader's trust, primarily.
How about
We have tax reduction.
maybe it could be where like a High Lord's town pays less taxes or something, or is
Yes, exactly.
allowed to have more citizens until it.
Okay, how about
the
this?
tax
Have
gets
a
high.
flat rate of 5 stam per citizen, and if you're a High Lord, it's 4.
Sounds good.
I could work with that.
That sounds
Could
reasonable.
you adjust that picture, please? Toma?
I'll
We have
take
60 citizens. Assuming at least like 70% of them pay. That's a lot.
I still think 5 stamp per citizen might be.
No, 5 stamp per citizen's like pretty standard rate at the beginning of a tax system.
Yeah, but newer people should get an exception at least till they can get to 25.
5 yeah, makes sense.
Anytime,
guys-
anytime a town is founded, I give it like 3 or 4 weeks before they're actually incorporated into the tax system anyway, already.
3 or 4 weeks. I can make note of that.
Okay.
New towns and new friends kind of get leniency on this.
3 weeks until they have to participate in the stam tax, and 4 weeks till they have to participate in the EXP tax.
To be honest, I'm fine with 5 stam because that's already what I was paying for guild hall dues, and that's pretty reasonable. Like CivMC's was doing about 5 stam a week for their dues.
Yeah, 5 stamps cuts around 15, just a little bit above 15%, so I feel like that's reasonable.
5 stam a week is pretty low.
While we're on the subject of High Lords, I planned on changing the requirement. You need to have a total of 5 citizens. The Lord counts as a citizen. And of those 5 citizens, you need to have 3 High Knights. So you need to have a total population of 5, 3 of which are High Knights, and yourself.
And what are the qualifications to become a High Knight?
You have to have a 100% ready combat loadout, and you have to impress me. That generally means that you come to me with the requirements, and I give you one task to complete, and based on that completion of that task, you get your thing.
I still think the bar might be too high. According to this, we don't have any High Lords right now.
We have never had a High Lord. That is correct.
Yeah, because the requirements are always a bit too high. Like 3 High Knight.
Well, it shouldn't be easy to become a High Lord.
Over 7 right now,
I agree.
so it shouldn't be too difficult to get currently.
And the problem here is every time someone becomes a High Knight, they might join the Royal Guard, or they might do something else.
Yeah, High Knight seems like such a transitory status where they could very easily become something else upon reaching that position.
Your lords to try to incentivize them to stay with you.
Well,
Better your town. Make it have all the farms. Make it be super friendly to all your citizens. Then your citizens won't be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go, work for the king."
yeah, and that kind of happened to me.
I'll speak on that. Firstly, the legal rankings of Savagard currently state that to become a High Lord, you need 1 High Knight and 5 Knights. So if we're changing that, we should probably change the legal rankings as well. It sounds like there's a little bit of a discrepancy there.
We're literally doing it right now.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah, that's what we're changing now, Super. Also, your mic's a little bit far away from you, just to let you know.
Could it at least be 2 knights and 1 high knight and 5 people?
I'm going to keep the requirement as it is now and see if people can adjust. Perhaps I'll consider adjusting it further later.
I have a question. Can these documents that we're all talking about together in this voice channel be posted somewhere that all members of this voice channel can see?
The laws channel.
Yeah.
Citizen.
Should foreigners see our laws?
I mean, there's no reason really not to.
I think they should, so they can know how to react in your land and what is and what isn't.
Yeah, the laws help also set expectations for people who are from different lands when they're coming here. So I feel like that.
But you can also see our XP production.
I mean,
you can break that up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll delete that one.
On the High Knight topic, I'll also say, since currently it looks like I'm the only High Knight on, it's not like it looks like a transitory role because it opens up the potential to either move into Lord or move into Guard. But it's completely possible for someone to decide to remain in that position and really use that status to have kind of more of a flexible role. For example, I've just become the diplomat, but because that's not within the specific rankings, because it's not necessarily an end goal of a progression, it's still something that a High Knight can enjoy and perform.
Yeah,
so I'll say that personally, I don't have any plans at the moment to move away from that position because I find it a very comfortable position and something that I want to do.
Out of curiosity, who are you High Knight under?
So I was under Tomo for most of the time, but as Tomo already brought up, I served directly under Invader.
When he became a High Knight, Invader, he went to Invader, and that will probably happen to other High Knights, where they can join the Lord or become a Lord.
Yeah.
So, I typically wanted to become a diplomat and to become
having
directly.
Right, but those basically it leaves open a lot of ways for very difficult to congregate a number of High Knights together because they will very likely transition into other roles. And you say that it's up to the Lord to incentivize them to keep them there, but also, as we can see in this exact situation, they were incentivized to pursue a different role, which pulled them away from their current Lord.
Yeah, and just through precedent, most High Knights go on to do something else. So having 3 of them seems very... It seems harder than before, like the previous 5 Knights. That's at least possible.
As I see if people try to adjust the new conditions because they are lessened, but it can be brought up again next week.
Okay. I guess we'll leave it at that.
Is anyone... Alright. I see a bunch of, light blue boxes around snitches. Does anyone know how to turn it off?
/mute the snitch group.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Spooky Scoops, your reps are done. Participating in our justice system.
Yep.
I still have to deliver the...
he's supposed to deliver it?
No, he's not allowed in Maloka anymore, so I'll deliver it.
Yeah. He has it compacted. It's all back at the Astra vault.
Perfect.
In another thing, Vane, I wanted to bring up the possibility of lords having larger representation in the politics of the nation.
To what extent?
Mostly in regards to, I think, being more of a part of deciding whether to go to war or not.
Well, I didn't setting up a parliament or anything like that. There's a lot of foreigners in this chat currently to be discussing that particular point.
Okay. I guess we'll come back
sorry,
to it later.
continue.
No, go ahead.
Can I disclose current expected income if we were to employ a 5-stamp tax rate?
Sure.
So with estimated 68 citizens, if you were to take that and multiply it by the 5-stamp rate, it's about 340 stam weekly. Now, I'm going to assume...
Run a blast furnace constantly costs 240 stam.
I thought it was... how much is it per repair for a blast furnace?
25 and then like half a stack of diamonds. And then it lasts for like 4 or 3 days.
A stack of bricks, a half a stack of nether bricks, and 2 diamonds. So
probably like 25 stamp.
Well, that runs for 3 days.
So if 75% of citizens pay taxes, that's an income of 255 stamina. So,
well, that 255 stamina can go towards, paying for bones.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you need to have it constantly running though? Like, why not just do mass runs every so often?
A lot of pushback for everybody saying that it needs to be running constantly, so hence why this tax reform is starting to happen.
I don't think we should run it constantly. There's no point in doing that.
Well, it depends on. Let's say one day you're like, oh wait, I have like tons of stuff to process, and I have this thing to buy like today, but then
today didn't work. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, and then you can't process those materials, and then you, I don't know, get pearled for not paying. I don't know how sharks work on this server.
Are we talking about the smelter?
If you don't have as much time or time to plan
blast furnace
the weekend, that makes sense. So.
Personally, I mean, so far the smelter or the blast furnace has been up and running whenever there's court, right?
Yeah.
So if you do need to pay some sort of tax or some sort of materials on that day, then simply ask somebody, probably Invader, if you can pay it to him later that day or when he's on next, Like,
Invader, are you looking at setting up a tax collection system like CivCorp uses, or no?
Yes, I am.
Where's that located?
Yeah, I'll disclose the location when it's a bit more private, but yeah, I'll post it in the Lord's chat. But it'll be a centralized location.
Alright.
Sexlahoma, our bastion on the island, was recently broken.
Probably Swinky, because he just got out.
He
needs
did?
to be rebashed, and his tiny shack needs to be destroyed.
As long as he doesn't get a hold of the Ann portal there, we're fine. That's the...
Any volunteers who want to go over there and do that, I'd happily accept them.
What needs to be done?
G-Dan's on it.
G-Dan's on it? Awesome. Mad Dog, the damage that IWW did, they said they replanted the cocoa, is that correct?
They only replanted what they had in the chests. They avoided all of it, except like one double chest of cocoa. That's not even an eighth of the farm. That's like a 16th.
Farm recovered at all?
Here, let me just share a picture in chat of how much they've actually...
Weeks ago, have you not cut and replant or anything like that? The farm hasn't recovered?
It hasn't recovered. I've been trying to get it done, but I've just not had the time.
Well, that's a huge lack in our, economic base.
Send a note and do it.
Like you all to, if you have any talent in creating memes, create some Poe Savagard meme. Be a huge pushback on the Reddit of Savagard bad. Maybe push some Savagard good.
Hey.
Should I make another Reddit post upvote of Savagard bad?
We are the bad guys.
If anybody would like to talk about Savagard PR campaign,
For
sorry.
fuck's sake.
Nice.
Can't avoid it even here, man.
I have a question. Just while there's like a break in talking. What's the difference between theft and grand theft? Like, what's y'all's line?
Yeah, that is definitions to.
Steal my
For
diamond.
examples would be really cool for the laws.
Well, like, let's
It's
say
grand theft if it's against the king.
Yeah.
Grand
Or-
theft if it's a gross amount of material being stolen.
Okay, if you want to
Kind of
see
a
topo
tack on, like
damage,
they stole that from me, and if it's a whole bunch of theft charges, they get a grand theft charge.
Yeah, I was just wondering if y'all had like a stamina equivalent number on it, because I was thinking about writing some of that up as well.
Oh no, I
Like
was
for
going to
ourselves.
few cases come forward effectively, and then start using historical precedents as kind of was.
Ah, okay, so more of a common law approach. Gotcha.
In one, if you read the asterisks, the lords can charge people with theft, but only the king can charge grand theft.
Yeah.
So it's a serious crime. It should be brought before the king, and then I'll hold the trial.
Okay.
But if you
Was
think
just
it's
wondering.
a mere theft crime, they can handle it locally. But if you'd like the person to face further charges, effectively, you'd have to bring it to my court.
And so does this apply to y'all citizens outside of Savagard, or just anyone in entering your claims and doing these charges?
It applies to citizens of Savagard, regardless of where they are on the world.
Okay.
If we want to level these charges locally without consulting the king, do we have them enforced by reaching out to a jester or a royal guard? How do we have that?
Well, if the person's cooperating, all you'll need to do is refer to Lord Grey and tell him to expect a new member in his penal colony. If they are not reacting appropriately, you may send gestures or request the aid of gestures to get them to go.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry about the phone thing earlier. If anyone wants to reach out about the Savagard PR campaign and compile that, please reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to get that.
oh my god, there's so many people in the VC, you actually have to scroll.
Yeah, who just said that?
That was me, Super Hot Fire. Please feel free to reach out to me or on my Discord at Dama if you'd like to compile the PR campaign alongside me. I'm more than happy to work on that.
Invader, if you want to view the Coco theft, it's actually in Gnome right now. You can see the damage that what they stole. I mean.
All right. Is there anything next on the list? Data?
Yep. I was looking at the picture really. Foreign relations. I'd like to get in better with Norland, our neighbors to the. So if anybody has friends in Norland, try to reach out to them.
I do. I have a decent number of friends actually up in Norland. Actually, I know a number of the individual leaders of the different communes up there. One of whom actually asked if you would be. He's not sure if it'll be able to pass Norlundic Parliament, but he asked if you would be interested in an alliance with Norland at some point in the future.
Interested? Yes.
I
am. They should definitely contact me.
I will let him know and tell him to contact you.
Lord Debug has made it. Welcome, Lord Debug.
Welcome.
Not sure if his mic is working. Let me invite him to the noble. All right. I also hear that Maloka wishes to reach out and be friendly again. So if anybody knows any Malokans, try to say hi. Be a little friendly to them.
Calypso is my friend, so
Quick question: is there anyone we should not be friendly to?
Well, I'm joking.
Varathia.
Varathia.
Well,
Okay.
I you should be on edge with MTA currently. You probably shouldn't travel there alone. Varathia is, I don't know, a crapshoot. I'm not exactly sure where their heart's at, but Aerosot doesn't seem to want war with us, so that's good. If at all possible, I would rather you guys not use CivCorp, but I mean, I understand good deal's a good deal. $20 is $20.
There is an XP exchange in MTA now.
Nice.
As well.
Hold on, I'm taking a picture of the court.
Well, how are our relations with Carbon right now? Just curious.
The rivalry is the official classification.
Rivalry. Okay. Oh, healthy rivalry. Is that what you said?
Friendly.
Friendly rivalry. Okay.
Friends with all the guys, it seems, and I don't know. We always seem to have open dialogue, so it's not like animosity or anything.
Okay.
Our allies, in case anyone doesn't know, are T-Chad, Azlenti, and the Roman Empire.
Can we have a channel at some point, maybe with a running list of perhaps our like alliances and such? I knew that, but that's because I just talked to Saren and such. Just basically a list of like who we have alliances with or something, just so we could refer to.
And it would be nice to have it written soon.
Yep. Did anybody happen to bring anybody that was slated for promotion?
Other than the two people I brought earlier, no.
Okay.
Hey, Gray, did you talk about the trading hub?
Oh, yes. So there is a project I've been working on for a little while. I say there's a great number of people, actually, a lot of whom who've done more work than I have, and I thank them for that. We've basically, a lot of individuals were a little bit discontent with the current domination by CivCorp in the overall international marketplace, and wanted to not necessarily make a competitor, but at the very least an alternative. And they're looking to create a trade city, and many of the locations they were considering for that were within Savagard's borders. So, if possible, we would like your blessing on that project to go forward.
I believe we've already approved one to be built at Zhang-Um.
Zhang-Um is the best location you can choose.
Tomo wanted to be involved heavily in that build project, so I mean, if you'd like an excellent builder's advice, you should contact. I know. For
Oh
sure,
no, he's already in the Discord.
We were originally going to choose saviors, but things came up, and now we own more land. So we can now build it in the best spot possible.
Yep, absolutely.
Unit, go.
So currently, it has been reviewed for a while, and it is one of the best locations we can choose. So anyone who wants to help in that, please contact Tomo or me.
Yeah, and I'll also get them. Mad Dog, are you? I don't think you're in the Discord yet for that, so I'll make sure to add you. Yeah, I'll add you right away.
Keep in mind, you guys are all like cooperatively building a city that will not have a lord. Perhaps try to groom someone who would want to have lordship over that.
Yeah, we were going to run it in a little bit of an odd way, I was thinking, but my thoughts were we'd basically have a rotating, perhaps a little bit of it wouldn't necessarily have a lordship, but we could perhaps, I don't know, we don't know quite about organization. We should have a conversation about that later.
Get that figured out.
Because there's a number of foreigners that would be actively involved there, and I think they.
A good
the way to do it is to not make it an official city, and it just being a trade hub would be under King's land, so it would just be subject to Savagard's law.
Yeah, that would be a good compromise there.
A good ally or foreign hand in this would probably be Sorcerer. He has a lot of experience with trade and such.
Yeah, I'll reach out to him. Thank you for the recommendation.
Lead-a-stand should make the wide list as well. We have no beef with We to Stand on any official capacity. We,
Question. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I insist.
Are you collecting crops before, or did you already collect crops, or are you collecting after this?
Anybody who has been added to the nobles group can put crops in the chests that are on either side of this at any time during this meeting, and then you
Okay,
can DM me what you put in the box.
if a noble could help me, I'm by the right chest if you're facing invader.
Or I can just do it. Toss it to me. Excellent, thank you.
There's a couple more.
Did you also harvest wheat?
No, that was already harvested when I got there. I harvested some potatoes. I never got the official go-ahead to harvest those crops, but I did harvest some potatoes and I left it in Tombstone.
I'd like to keep harvesting them. I'd like you to contact Lanix, what his schedule of doing it is and who should be doing it.
Yeah, I'll sort that out in a minute. While we're on the topic of Unitas, actually, the CLA, the CivRealms Library Association, has reached out to me saying that they wish to build a grand library in our Unitas territory. But the problem is that they actually want it to be an international or neutral zone. So I'm just wondering what your opinion on that is.
I'm generally not into giving people embassies of sorts, so I would decline. If they were okay with it being in Savagard territory, that is fine, but they don't get to have sanctions over it. I would definitely approve a beautiful build.
Alright.
We need to do a push to get a big pile of mats together for an attack bunker box. So anybody who's fishing a lot or something like that, come forward with your fish, that sort of.
Alright.
Can I get clarification on the payment for crops?
Sure. Well, there's going to be a tax weekly for lords to contribute towards the EXP economy. That's going to secure 4 runs minimum of advanced XP a week. And then further XP contributing past that will give you a direct share of the EXP produced.
Okay.
The EXP production is broken down into 8 facets, including wood production and sand and bones are counted separately.
Yeah, I'll fix the chart later.
But contributing to our XP economy doesn't get you the same rates as CivCorp because you're also contributing to our military economy and tool production and stuff. But we'll keep you guys in tools, provided everyone's contributing. Also, we're going to be doing a big push for boat production. I want everybody in the kingdom to have a boat.
I can probably produce like 5 or 6.
Nice. We're doing a big push. I wish Slow Dancing was here. He's been doing a great push on horses. Apparently we have 13.8 now.
827 or something. We have the fastest horse
Jesus.
on the server now.
Wait, what was it?
Let me check. 1 fat second.
13.827.
$832. 13,832.
Our builds are coming along nicely. Special shout out to Tomo. It's looking good. Keep up the good work.
So the thing can travel at 19.364 with a speed 2.
Yeah, it's fast.
While we're talking about citizens being absorbed by the High Night program, I've noticed a large number of people that get sent to the mines end up staying. Is there some special thing you're doing down there that has retention properties?
Things to do.
I mean, I basically give them things
Yeah.
to do. I let them keep the most part all the resources and such, and try to help them enlarge in their own wealth. Otherwise, I'm also trying to work towards getting them all prot sets, and so that they can advance along the, I guess let's call it the kingdom tree. So yeah, I don't know. I just want to empower them to do what they want to do. I guess I know there's no really big secret about it.
I'd like to give you a shout out. It's a very good example of how lordship should be run.
Oh, thank you.
As far as bastioning our claims and expanding, I plan on issuing the Lord bastions regularly to expand the bastion claims of the kingdom around their settlements. Until eventually...
Yeah, Invader, I currently have 0 bastions around my settlement, so I would like to be distributed at least 1 or 2.
I can send you with 10 when you leave here today.
Okay.
I would like somebody to help cobble together a recommended mod bundle that we can start distributing to our citizens.
Oh, I can get hot on that really quick with G-Gum.
Okay. I mean, I'd like you to talk to Saren about it. He has pretty good combat load.
Saren will work with that. You can set up the combat side, and I'll set up the usability.
Sounds good.
And G-Gum, I can probably ask if you can fix a few mods for usability.
To ask if anybody would like to speak on Incentive's behalf before he is sentenced next week.
What is current crimes?
Treason.
Treason.
Oh my goodness. Mad Dog, I swear to God.
I'm sorry, I have to go.
I'd like to speak
Yeah,
about incentives
but take care
before
of your little sis.
Right, Mike's on Posey right now.
Oh, okay.
Wait, whose voice did I hear? Wait, was it Supa?
Yeah, that was me. I can
okay,
wait.
Sorry. Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. What I was gonna say is, I don't want to speak on his behalf, but I do want to say before the sentencing that I do believe that this kind of a treason is really unforgivable. I think that it caused a lot of international tensions. It led to potential difficulties in our future international tensions that had happened very recently. And I think that for a country that is so built on internal loyalty and unity, that what he did was a highest crime. And I strongly do believe that he should not be forgiven.
I believe the opposite.
Are we talking about incentives? Yeah, he got dogged.
We should be lenient
Tomo.
on him for several reasons we've talked about before.
Say to the court.
Well, for one, he did make you guys aware of his participation, and you guys did not tell him not to go.
Actually, you guys gave him permission, but there were explicitly strings attached to that he was not made aware of. The expectation is if someone goes to war and you give them permission to do so, they're not going to be constantly thinking about whether or not the situation, they're not going to be constantly asking if there's tape around the volunteering that they're doing for that war. They're going to basically explicitly assume, I have been given permission to do this. I am going to fight to my best ability to do so.
At the same
that nobody was really clear about their expectations. This does set a precedent that it makes my expectations very clear.
Yeah.
All right, but with that being said, this is the first instance of this having happened. I feel like there should be a large amount of leniency being in regards to handling Incentive's case, especially with the large amounts of miscommunication that occurred.
I think if he agrees to, he should be sent to the mines.
That is an option he will have.
I do believe that. Oh, sorry.
He also had a fair number of extremely treasonous screenshots that he's done since the pearling and everything.
He's also been talking in chat about like how Safeguard's shit, all this stuff. I don't know any specifics of what he said, but along those lines.
Well, obviously,
at the same time, Yeah, he feels betrayed. I feel, and I feel like he, while he's not necessarily correct, has somewhat of a good reason for feeling the way he does.
He did house an ally of ours in this vault. Whether or not he was aware of it or not, he was allied with people and they had access to this vault, and he did not have access to this vault.
But
And at the
I feel
same
like
time,
a lot of people are missing the context, though, that explicitly there was permission given to incentives to volunteer.
there was no permission given to allow him to not add us to groups when he said it was his vault on the end of hosting someone that's allied with us and keeping them there. At the same time, the biggest thing, in my opinion, is the fact that he has an alt named Topher 3002. That's all well and fine, but he was effectively posing as Topher, and our government came to believe that Topher was the one who had done this, and it almost caused a serious issue with MTA. And then in our recent MTA scenario, it definitely played a role in some level of tension. And I think that causing that kind of international tension that could have led to even more problems, violence, and even war as a serious a negative factor in that area, I think that's a big problem. And whether or not it was intentional, it caused a lot of issues for us. And that's something that has really been on my mind.
Another thing is that he is a dual citizen, and there are different rules that we need to implement for them.
We still all take an oath to Savagard and to the Crown, and I think that we all know that that's supposed to be primary.
It's Minecraft game. I mean, we can't really perma people for not following their oath.
Perma is never an agenda, alright? Remember that. Don't use that word
Yeah.
here, man.
They should take their oath seriously. If they wish to leave Savagard, there's channels they can go through to do. But this may be a block game, but in this world, we are
Yes.
Savagard. And Savagard is supposed to mean
Didn't
something.
Incentive say he would leave Savagard and you guys didn't let him?
Did that midway through the war effort while he already had the Pearl.
Yeah, but after you guys told him
that he had permission to go.
I told him the path he needed to take to get out of this situation, and he refused. I gave him options. I did not just say, you're fucked.
Thing is,
he did kind of dick on Invader's suggestion, which was just to free the Pearl and and then just reset from there. Resign his citizenship, free and clear up conscience, and then just do whatever he wants. But for Perms to effectively continue the war effort from the point where he released that Pearl, and we would have washed everything. He had the option to continue his war if he wanted to without Savagard, but he chose to let Savagard get involved, and I did.
Is he the one who said have fun digging for 4 hours?
Yep, he was.
Okay. Yeah, that's not cool. He definitely had a way out of that.
Multiple.
And if you're part of Savagard, I don't see why you should be loyal.
Several areas where we could have stopped this without
even in the context of just a block game, we take loyalty so seriously, and it was a violation. And I will say, I'm the first person to aim for a peaceful solution. There are many of us who have worked very, very hard to display that we are trying to use peace first, and that's what we want to.
There could have been multiple peaceful solutions.
There
was no Colombia.
The situation I think he's trying to say is it shouldn't have gotten to that point in the first place, where we found ourselves in direct conflict with incentives when the communication going around what incentives was or was not allowed to do, it was not clear.
I mean, I think it comes down to why didn't he just release the Pearl when Invader asked?
I agree. I don't know how hard it is to just release the Pearl.
Even if he had benefited the war.
Yeah, wouldn't have even benefited that much. They caught him once, they could have caught him again.
Sorry.
Could we banish him without further punishment?
Absolutely not an option. He will definitely face the justice system. Now, his best hope far as I can tell, is just getting like a mining sentence, and at which point he'll be on probation for an equal amount of time after that. At which point I assume he will go to Weedistan full time.
Clearly thought about the idea of, okay, I could just release this pearl. It's something very obvious, and weighed his options and decided not to do it. That's a breach of loyalty to Savagard, as far as I'm concerned, and it should be punished.
It will be punished. We're just seeing how severely.
I'm not saying permanent. We're not putting that on the table, but I do think severely is necessary.
There's no perma in our legal system.
It's a word we will not be using, guys. Please stop refraining from
Yes.
mentioning that word.
If you say perma in front of Sarah, he's like, it's triggered, and it's just like 3 years of his life suddenly go away as from classics.
At the same time, I personally do consider this, and I'm not the one who makes the decision, I do consider this high treason.
I mean, I would advocate that it's not, that there is a lot of miscommunication on both sides. He does deserve punishment, but I don't think it should be particularly extreme given the circumstances around the case.
Anybody else wish to speak on Incentive's behalf or against him?
Like, if
I'll think of it.
Yeah, go posing.
I just like to say, in terms of the overall like damages he caused, it was pretty easy, like breaking their vault and getting everyone out. Like that took like less than 5 hours to make them completely submit. So like, take into the account amount of damage done when the sentence is like put forth. I would feel like, because like if it, like in my experience leading Minecraft groups, it's generally like if someone does something treasonous and it causes a massive issue where we lose like half of our storages, we lose a ton of people get like crit out while they're AFKing, that's a lot more serious of a high treason because of like the actual damage it caused. And like I'm a big proponent that like intention matters partly, but also like the amount of damage physically done also does matter. That's just my thoughts, you know.
Yeah,
I'm an
I agree.
outsider. I don't live here.
That sounds very reasonable.
Also, what is Incentive's threat to the server in the future? Like, he's not gonna grief, he's not gonna raid, or he's not gonna do nothing. He's just gonna sell picks in CivCorp. That, like, he's not gonna come after Savagard in the future. He's just not.
Yeah, I'll say that while I don't really know exactly the situation behind it all, permapro is absolutely unacceptable. Look what it did to Civ Classic.
Yeah, and that's why we set out our legal
Guys,
code.
perma
It's not
was
in there.
never an option.
Yeah, like people keep throwing around perma, that's just not going to happen.
If you look at our legal code, it's not listed anywhere for any crime.
Like,
As
enough
long
of like
as long
perma,
as
like that's
I
just
exist,
ridiculous.
I shit you not,
Right.
dude. Perma will never be an option here. Sorry.
Just ban the P word.
I think the problem here is no one knows what the punishments are, so we can't really choose. We're just talking a lot of rubbish. Like, could someone post it so we could?
They're in hashtag laws, and I think.
Wait, it's town hall.
And also, yeah.
Okay.
Town Square is where you'll be looking. It's at the top.
One last chance to allow people to speak on or against.
I had missed a little bit. What were the full extent? Just
He joined a war against our allies, which is fairly excusable. But then he stored our ally that was pearled during that war in his private vault.
And willingly or not, he impersonated a leader of another nation, at least in the eyes of Savagardian government. It resulted in misinterpretation, whether or not that was on purpose or not. And it seriously affected an international relation, in my opinion, if we would like to invade.
I don't think we should care about
it sounds like he needs a short pearling sentence and eviction from Savage.
Also, MTA isn't our concern right now. people can impersonate anyone in MTA. I don't think we should care about that.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's clearly affected our relationship, at least temporarily, and definitely fed into future tensions. I think that to overlook that is to be negligent in this sentence.
I mean, MTA is corrupt as hell, so I don't have much to say about that.
It's just my duty to worry about our relationships with other people. So that's something that definitely I think is a concern that we do need to consider at the very least.
All right. Thank you for your guys' words on the matter. We'll move on to the next one. Do we think Viserys is redeemable? An open forum.
Yep, absolutely. I feel like ultimately he was following the server's rules. He did it in a pretty kind of shitty way, going behind people's backs. He did betray a member of our country, but I think that's a separate issue, right? I guess that's what we're talking about.
What's disconcerting is that he took the video of what he had 3 weeks before he reported it. That shows explicit intention.
Yeah, I think that if we are gonna even let him, like, consider letting him back into the nation, we're gonna have him turn over any secretive videos that he's taken while people don't know.
I don't think he deserves the night role because he's doing shit behind our backs.
Well, regardless, he's already busted. He's going to be busted to serf no matter what. Have to work his way back up.
I do appreciate his building skills, and that's the only reason, besides his likability, that I want him here. Otherwise, I would have kicked him out in the street for pulling that back underhanded bullshit.
It's extremely. Yeah, he's very much so redeemable, though. I don't think.
I mean,
people
we have to consider. You have to consider the context, right? Like the argument he had with Fuzzy, and that whole long
a lot
brewing
of knowledge of the disagreement that they. It happened. Well, because I'm friends with Fuzzy, and at the time I was friends with him. What really concerns me is he had the video and he intentionally used it to get Fuzzy banned. What concerns me is that while he was friends with Fuzzy, he was intentionally recording that video so that he would have something. And then later, he would continue to bring it up to Fuzzy, almost like an attempt to blackmail.
Was definitely there.
And he was friends with Fuzzy at that time. Now, even though he did that, I don't think he's irredeemable. I would just never put him in a position of power.
Yeah.
Absolutely no power.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an A from me as well.
Mm-hmm. I think everybody's more or less in agreement with that.
Send him to the mines.
Send him to the mines.
Make him dig for his freedom.
Send him
to the gulag.
To the mines.
To the mines.
Send him to the slums.
The mines are getting pretty nice lately, actually.
Send him to the slums in the mines, then.
How many picks do you think you should have to break to redeem himself to be in the open world again?
At least 23.
How long is Fuzzy paroled for? I mean, banned for.
Banned for.
I'm pretty sure it's like a week.
No, it's
2 months. It's 2 months then.
Okay.
2 months.
Yeah.
Let's say 8 picks. One pick.
No, 8 picks is easy. I can literally do that in 2 freaking days.
That's like a day's work.
This should be equal to Fuzzy's sentence. Whenever Fuzzy gets out.
No, I think that's too harsh.
We should
Can I say something?
That's a little bit too on the nose. Yeah.
Should stick with the criminal code.
Posey, go
I would like to say that anything involving a member of my group using any hacking or anything like that is completely not admissible in court because you should try to convince your citizens to not cheat at the game.
True.
You shouldn't punish someone for reporting to the admins something that is game breaking because you would hope that they would do that.
Yeah, but he held on to it for 3 weeks.
It's not the fact that he reported Fuzzy to the admins and got him banned. It's the fact that he did that multiple months after he took the video.
He kept the video. He wasn't
used
reporting
it as blackmail,
Fuzzy.
not reporting.
He was not reporting Fuzzy to the admins because he thought it was wrong to do that. He was doing that because him and Fuzzy had some sort of argument.
Falling out.
Here's the point. He was not using it for the justice. He was using it for the leverage it gave him over Fuzzy, which is wrong.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
why.
if he was reporting it to the admins, he would have sent in a mod mail like the rest of us.
Yeah, he was trying to smear him.
Yeah. It's a shitty smearing attempt. I mean, we gave Fuzzy shit for doing that shit to begin with, but we gave we need to give more shit to Viserys because
they both need shit.
He should have busted him from the get-go, instead of like letting this blow up, like using it as blackmail later on. It's just not fair.
What would you say to 60 pick breaks, one for each day, since 7 is way too low?
I would advocate for like 30.
30?
30 is manageable.
Yeah.
Especially since he's a builder, I'd rather him get back to building sooner rather than later. Actually, 30, plus he has to build some stuff in the mine so I can run around and look pretty.
That's basically, yeah.
30 what?
Oh, sounds
30
great.
pickaxe. Pick bricks.
30 minor days, and that equivalent is 30 picks.
I think 30 might be too much.
I think 30 is a lot.
Let's say,
30
let's say
is manageable.
Let's say one pick is about an hour to like 40 minutes.
No, it's not that. Yeah, it's like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay,
So that's like
so
a bit over a day of mining, a bit over 24 hours of mining.
So I like where this conversation is going, but if we're considering like punishing him for holding that information, right? Then why are we basing it off of Fuzzy's punishment when he was punished for something completely different?
Yeah, I don't think it should be
That's
based
kind of
off
showing that that's.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it was for like 30 or something lower. Because basing it off of Fuzzy's punishment doesn't make sense because Fuzzy should have been banned for should and has been banned for what he did. And the punishment for Viserys shouldn't be reflective of the ban on Fuzzy. It should be reflective of the blackmail that occurred.
Yeah.
How long has he been pearled?
A little over a week. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
We should stay within the criminal code when it comes to this.
I think that
He's already
the
been
sooner
told.
2
we let him
weeks.
out, the sooner we let him out to work on his sentence, the better, so he can recover from
Yeah.
this.
He's already done 14 days of being paroled.
Yeah, I know that he's kind
That
of
should be
annoyed.
factored as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's already the treason crime, which we could argue all he did was commit treason.
Yeah, that's right.
You can throw a couple harassment charges in there and kind of break 10 picks in the mines just to, have him work off. Give him time served other than that.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sounds perfect.
So we're moving on from this topic now, guys?
I would.
Yep.
Lord Perms, I was going to upgrade them in conjunction with this tax rollout. I'm going to give every Lord odd perms on the guild hall so you can add and take people off or admin perms so you can add and remove people as you.
Yep, you get your citizens, introduce them to the guild hall, and if they need to be added to it, put them on it, preferably put them on it. Because now the taxes will cover everyone in the whole nation, so there's no need for more like, tax, guild taxes. Now everyone gets to be on it.
Being said, everybody here should give me 5 stam before they leave for this week.
Okay.
We should have a specific tax day.
That should be court day, Saturday.
And are you guys going to create a system to collect crops and taxes?
Yep, I'm going to set up a Dropbox location under the nobles thing that I've invited lords.
Yeah, and it should be easy to mark people off also.
Lords, I will be talking to you about your EXP contributions and payouts tomorrow in the Lord chat at 4. Back to the previous thing. Lord Perm.
Sorry, go ahead.
The ones we're also going to get upgraded to all the lords will be admin on that.
Your mic's kind of wacky, dude. Fix it.
Should we put
Upgraded on the Gambit terms as well. And I'd like to get all of our AN portals on the same group of permissions.
Mm-hmm. Which one?
We should create all of our AN entrances on the overworld or on one group, so if we want people to go to and from in our ANs, they have access to the entire country.
Should be under Savagard, I think.
Yeah, excellent. We need to I'll make everybody admin on the Savagard group too, so we can add people to that, so we can actually have a group of that.
It looks like a few people are waiting to be dragged up. If anyone with perms.
I'll do it. Here you go. Thank you for letting me know.
Yep, no problem.
Sorry about that. I had to go eat dinner real quick.
Okay, what's the next topic? Do we have more?
Yeah, is there more?
1 second. Well, policy with dealing with visitors. We should make it a point to start greeting people you don't recognize friendly, but go check out what they're doing if they're hanging out any place too long. But try to be friendly.
Don't pearl every person you see.
That people are pretty aggressive towards new people. Let's try to change the image a little bit.
I've only been aggressively friendly.
I'll accept aggressively friendly. It's a step up. We need to do a stam drive for bones. The goal is 600 stamps. Who wants to donate? It'll pretty much solve our EXP issues for bones for quite a while.
I could do that if you give me a looting sword.
Okay.
I've got some bones already.
Does looting affect the bone drop rate?
Yeah. Not on wolves though.
I was gonna say I didn't think it used to do that.
It only does it on like sheep and cows and shit.
I'd like to seek a formal alliance between T-Chad, the Roman Empire, and Islenti as a group. If anybody opposes that, you may speak now.
What would our alliance name be?
The Exodian Alliance.
I'm okay with that. Exodia. Oh my god. A Yu-Gi-Oh reference of all things. Lovely. Obliterate. Very
As
well.
a Magic the Gathering player, I support this.
Is the Colombia War over?
As far as I know, the war never actually... Yeah, oh, that war is over. Sorry, I was thinking of the MTAs. They actually signed a document that said there was no more aggression. They should be releasing them today.
Okay.
But who knows? Maybe Colombia's back with a vengeance today, fresh out of it.
I just think if we make an alliance, all parties should be at peace at the moment.
To be clear, we already have alliances with all three of those countries. We would just be uniting them under one alliance.
Oh.
And what's our current relationship with MTA?
I would say uneasy at best.
I think we should ban all travel to MTA.
We should what?
Ban all travel to MTA. Protest.
That's a very
Oh
cute
yeah,
idea.
let's all travel through MTA and just jump around. I'm sure they'll take that lovely.
I don't think MTA is just going to outright pearl any Savagard people that go there.
No, but we should protest their occupation of Boris.
I don't think we should.
Test. Is my mic working properly yet?
I actually took a route around MTA today just for that reason.
Interesting person, I heard you. I don't know who you are, but I hear you.
It's Debug, my boy.
Hey, Bug, how's it going?
Pretty good.
No, you are like 15 years. You're like 15 miles away from your mic, man.
I heard him fine.
I just
Hello.
So,
Yeah,
other than
he sounded good to me.
Huh.
Other than the drive I'm trying to do as everyone's leaving here. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to say?
Could we talk after this privately?
Yeah, about the alliance, like, because, does T-Chat want to be friends with TRE? Does TRE want to be friends with Slenty? Or vice versa, let's just figure that out.
We've discussed
all of
this
them.
somewhat
Talked to all of
already.
them individually, and they all seem on board with it.
Alright.
Sounds good.
Was to bring it up to the Council of Lords here in an official capacity to see if anybody had any problems with it.
Alright.
Alright, nobody seems to have any issues.
Hey, Invader, I don't know if you heard me, but could we talk privately after this?
Who's speaking? It's like there's so many people.
Bearder, Adrian.
Yeah, sure.
Likewise.
Okay.
I am also
my goal is to
talking.
get 600 stam. Everybody before they leave, if you're a citizen of Savagard, has to give me 5. I need more.
You need how much stem?
I'm trying to get 600 to buy a bunch of bones. So any donations would be helpful.
Bows?
People need to give me 5.
Wait,
Well,
we
I
need
don't really
a
have much
stam
on
to
me, but
buy boats? Why not make them?
yeah. Well,
No
because we don't have the
bones.
production right now.
Okay, get 50 from me.
Anybody who has EXP materials they're trying to donate, there's 2 chests on either side of the throne room.
I don't have any stam on me, but as always, the Astra coffers are open.
Okay.
I got a question.
Pretty
Do y'all have like an internal map of Savagard? Like of all the different towns and cities and
Tomo's
stuff?
got one. Tomo, can you be, kind to send him one?
I just want to like take a tour around since I'm here. I haven't been around this area lately.
I could probably give you a tour, since I'm here anyway.
Yep, I'm down.
Alright, are we calling the meeting here then?
Has anyone seen WH Lightning? I lost him again.
He's right behind you.
Oh, there he is.
Tomorrow?
Yep. Are we talking with our allies right now? Like, right now?
Yep, that's after this is allied.
Okay.
I'm just saying hi to people getting stam. Thank you for coming.
Yep.
Yep.
Posey, you can come with me, man.
As soon as I talk to the allies. Yeah.
Okay, no worries.
Okay. Where should I deposit the stamina?
You give it to me.
Okay.
Open the stables.
Dude, where'd you go?
I'm standing at the doorway.
Okay.
Like a panhandler.
Thank you.
Yes, a reminder, Slenty guys, and wait, is TRE guys? Yeah, okay, I guess we can just hold it off in a private voice later.
Yeah, I'm gonna drag all up to the throne room, please.
Okay.
Alright.
Leave me out of it though. I'm gonna go first walk with Posey. I'll come back later mid chat.
Wouldn't it just be fun to like ride through CivCorp and scare them even more than last time?
Oh, shut up,
I'll
Dit.
lock it down, bro.
The absolute most based thing we could do is just all ride in and prot and make CivCorp shit themselves.
Yeah.
Last time
I'm
we
down.
did. Last time
They
we
did that, I had to jump the trench. Okay, so
Yeah, but now they made the trench larger.
Everybody
Not
goes, one person buys maybe a stack of XP.
We are a peaceful nation. You guys should remember.
So
We're
this is
gonna
the,
go peacefully buy
The
XP.
magnificent tower. Yep.
In full pride.
And
It is pretty damn big.
it is pretty fucking fat.
Yeah, I think Fuzzy
It's just-
spent like multiple months on that.
Yeah, it's built mostly by him, just him alone.
Mhm.
And then there's this boat right here. This is what Viserys built.
Oh, and then don't forget what I built.
Which was?
I built the thing right here. This
Speaking-
tower. The one that looks
you
like a dildo.
ravioli? Goddamn. Yep. And as you can tell, it's the same 3-4 basic blocks. Prismarine, quartz, half slabs, stone bricks, and that's literally
Looks
it.
good. Looks good. There isn't Prismarine much around the rest of the server.
Nope, there isn't. But yeah, I love this boat.
It's a pretty dope looking boat.
Yep. And now also we have our face cliff with a Savagardian flag, just a big fat one.
Mhm.
right
That's
above.
also very cool.
Do you see it above our heads right there?
Yeah, I do.
It's just magnificent. In an older render of this, like previously when it was Western Empire, it was a different flag up there. So then when the new render came, I think Dark did, or I think Super did. Yeah, it came out. The only thing that really had changed was literally just, the flag.
The flag. That's funny.
I thought it was fucking hilarious. So we're going up to Saviors right now.
Ah, Paint's place. I hang out with
Paint's
him
place.
occasionally.
Yeah, it's a rather new settlement, so yeah. Not a lot of things to see yet, but it's definitely good to know where it is in case you need to visit in the future. I
Mhm.
usually just run along the coast to get there. I think that's Road to Savior City, yeah.
Why don't you grab a horse?
I didn't think I brought one, dude.
Damn.
Oh, dude, this is the nicest screenshot. Let me just...
I have an extra one.
Pretty dank.
Actually, I have shaders on, dude, so it looks... Can you come next to me, Posey?
Of course.
But you block it. Can you get the horse, like, in front of us, like, inside land, and then hop off it? There you go. There we go. Get the whole thing in background. Fat.
Let's
go. Actually, I'll probably make this the thumbnail. That'd be good. That's a very good thumbnail.